Man, I gotta stop talking about Garrett Crochet. He's really good, don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about him today. Like both times I've talked about his past pitching performance, he's pitched like ass. Other than that, he's been the best pitcher in baseball. So, Red Sox fans, I'm doing you a favor. No more Crochet talk after this. Welcome to the Dugout. I'm your host, Joseph Silva. And on today's episode, we are recapping a great week in MLB baseball. And we're about a month into the season. So, I'm going to give you the All-MLB team for the first month. There are going to be a lot of surprises, maybe a controversial pick or two, but it's going to be fun regardless. But before we get started, if you're enjoying the content, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the Run the Play Network. The NBA playoffs have been legendary to start the year. And of course, Phil's crashing out because his Lakers are down 3-1. I got to catch all of this on the next episode of You Know Ball. Now, we start with the Guardians-Yankees series that happened last week, and this was a fun series overall, and Game 1 kind of epitomized that as the Guardians won that 6-4. Pitching-wise, Clark Schmidt just was not good for the Yankees whatsoever. He only went 4 innings, gave up 7 hits, 5 earned, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. Really, he's part of that Yankees rotation problem we all knew was coming after Garrett Cole went down, and Schmidt has just not stepped up in a big, big way. Conversely, Gavin Williams had a very, very good start for Cleveland. He went 6 1/3, also gave up 7 hits, but this time it was only 2 earned, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. He's been good to start the year, man. Tanner Bybee has been struggling a lot, let's be honest here, and Gavin Williams has stepped up in a big, big way to fill that hole in a really thin Guardians rotation, let's be honest here. Offensively and scoring-wise, Jose Ramirez opened the scoring with a 3-run bomb to start it off in the third, followed by Kyle Manzardo and Brian Rocchio's RBI single in the fourth to push the lead to 5-0. Of course, Jose Ramirez would then add an RBI single in the sixth to cap Cleveland's scoring, and Jason Dominguez and Paul Goldschmidt did their best to try and drag the Yankees back into it, as they had 2-run home runs in the 7th and 8th respectively to make it 6-4, but they could not get it done against a quite invincible Cleveland bullpen. And same thing in Game 2, man. They played them close. They just could not get over the hump. Guardians won this one 3-2. Will Warren was a lot better than Schmidt. He went 5 innings, only gave up 3 hits, 2 earned, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He looked really, really damn good. He's done what Clark Schmidt should be doing, is he stepped up in a big way to kind of help this beleaguered Yankees rotation. Tanner Bybee, I said he struggled, but this was a good start. I'm going to be honest with you here. He went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Looked very good overall. Hopefully he's starting to turn the corner a little bit here because Cleveland desperately needs him to be good at the top of the rotation. And of course, Ben Rice led off the scoring in this one with a solo shot. Josh Chisholm would then double the lead with a sac fly in the 6th. But the 6th inning is where Cleveland came back and got him. Stephen Kwan scored on a Jack Leiter wild pitch, which, yikes. Then Kyle Manzardo would hide on an RBI double and would score the go-ahead run on an Angel Martinez RBI single. And the Yankees, they finally got their revenge in Game 3. They won this one 5-1, and Carlos Rodon spun a gem in this one. He went 7, only gave up 4 hits, no earned, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. Dominant from him. Rodon is really, not to spoil my MLB first team for the first month, but he really has been in contention to be one of the 5 starters I picked for first team All-MLB. He has been dominant to start the year. He really does struggle at times to kind of finish dominant starts, but that's the one flaw he has. He has been brilliant for 5 innings most of the time. Kind of struggles in the 6th and 7th. This time, though, he went 7 clean innings, and, ooh, man. Keep an eye out for him in the Cy Young race in the AL thus far. Luis Ortiz, however, spun a turd, let's be honest here. He only went 4 1/3, gave up 5 hits, 4 earned, 5 walks, 8 strikeouts. It was just brutal to watch overall. And the scoring began with an Aaron Judge RBI triple as the second batter of the game. He would then come around to score on a Paul Goldschmidt RBI single. Gabriel Arias, however, did score on a Cody Bellinger error in center to kind of cut the lead in half, and that's all Cleveland could manage in this one, as Ben Rice answered almost immediately with an RBI single and then scored again on a Paul Goldschmidt RBI single. And then Austin Wells added a key insurance run with an RBI double in the 7th. Overall, Yankees, the offense, it's been great this year. They are the number one team in home runs, even though they didn't really show it in this series. But they've been great offensively. But you see the chinks in the armor, and it really is the fact that this rotation without Garrett Cole is just bad. Like Rodon gave him a fantastic start. Will Warren gave him a good start, and Clark Schmidt was just awful. And that's really where they need to improve a little bit here is they need an arm at the deadline here if they want to go back to the World Series. And also move Cody Bellinger out of the 3-hole. I love him. He's my himbo king for life. However, he is not a good 3-hitter for them right now. He's just not a good hitter, period. We thought that left-handed swing would play perfectly at the short porch and right, but no, he's just been bad. Find another 3-hitter, man. It is embarrassing. But for the Guardians, a little atypical Guardians ball, let's say, because, they dominate with their bullpen and the rotation just kind of is there. But, they had great offensive showings in this one. Bullpen pitched fine. They weren't elite by any means whatsoever. And on top of that, too, they really just need starting pitching. As Tanner Bybee finally gave him a good start, and Gavin Williams has been good all year. You just need them to step up a little bit more here to just supplement an already elite bullpen, and you really have a good recipe for success. Now, one team with an elite rotation, one team I thought was going to have an elite rotation and turns out to have shit the bed besides the Garrett Crochet trade, are the Mariners and Red Sox. They played a great series at Fenway, and in Game 1, it was a steamrolling by the Red Sox. They won this one 8-3. Bryce Miller just didn't have it. He only went 4 2/3, gave up 5 hits, 4 earned, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. He was outpitched by Brian Bayo, who went 5 innings, 4 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. And Jorge Polanco opened up the scoring with a home run in the first, which was answered almost immediately by a Rafael Devers sac fly at the bottom half of the inning. Bregman then added an RBI double in the third and an RBI double in the second, followed by a 2-run double in the third, really pushing things out of reach here for Seattle. But J.P. Crawford really tried to keep it close. He added a 2-run single in the sixth to cut the lead down to 1. But Tristan Casas absolutely drove the dagger in the hearts of Seattle with a 3-run home run in the seventh, followed by a Jarren Duran RBI in the same inning. Really just put the game out of reach. Just not the best start for Seattle in this series, but they answered back in a big way. They won the next game 8-5 with Emerson Hancock putting his John Hancock-esque stamp on this one, as this was a signature start from him. He went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. He outdueled Sean Newcomb, who went 5 innings, gave up 8 hits, 4 earned, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. Now, offensively, it started with a Mitch Garver RBI single in the fourth. J.P. Crawford would then add a 3-run home run to make it 4-0 at the end of the inning. Rami Gomez, however, in the bottom half would open the Red Sox scoring with an RBI single to make it 4-1. Rafael Devers then cut the lead to 2 with an RBI groundout in the fifth, and things are starting to get a little tense here at Fenway. But a throwing error for Julio Rodriguez. There was a throwing error. Julio Rodriguez would get those 2 runs back almost instantly. And then Williamson and Crawford added 2 more runs in the seventh, and it just was out of reach by there. And then Tristan Casas really made things interesting, though, in the eighth with a 3-run shot again, but the Red Sox just couldn't claw those last 3 back. They would end up losing this one. And in the rubber match, it was a great pitching matchup, but I told you I will stop talking about Garrett Crochet. He's been phenomenal this year. He's my AL Cy Young pick for a reason. But it seems like every time I talk about this man on this show, he has a bad game. This was a bad game because he only went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 earned, 5 walks. Yeah, the command was not there whatsoever. He still managed to strike out 9 Mariners, though. Just not the best start from him overall. He was outpitched by foolish baseball favorite Brian Wu. He went 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 earned, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. He was fantastic. He's starting to give him a lot more length. Brian Wu, baby. He's here now. Mitch Garver would open up the scoring in this one with a 2-run double in the first. Alex Bregman answers immediately with a solo shot in the bottom half of the inning. A Dylan Moore sac fly and a Julio Rodriguez RBI groundout added to the Mariners' lead in this one. Alex Bregman then had his second RBI of the game to make it 4-2 in the third. And really, it just went nowhere after that offensively till a Carlos Narvaez solo shot in the eighth really ramped up the tension. But Munoz came in and closed it out and really won this one for Seattle. And looking at this series overall, Seattle's pitching was great for the most part, aside from a bad Bryce Miller start. The offense has been surprising to start the year, though. I didn't like the fact that Seattle made basically no offensive additions. They actually lost some offensive pieces. But, they are one of the most homer-dependent teams in baseball, which is not a great look. But, they have been getting a lot of great pitching. Prayers for Logan Gilbert. Let's hope he's okay. But aside from him, the rotation has been fantastic. Emerson Hancock has filled it in for George Kirby in a big, big way thus far. Miller and Wu are fantastic as usual. Really, this Mariners team has surprised me a lot. I'm really pleasantly surprised. I want to see playoff baseball in Seattle. Good for them. But for the Red Sox, man, I was so high on this team. And offensively, they have come to play, man. Rafael Devers has got out of that famous, I don't want to say Chris Davis-esque, because he got nowhere close. And as Jock Peterson showed, being Chris Davis-esque is very, very hard. But, that 0-for-17 to start the year was not a great look for him. Alex Bregman has been phenomenal to start the year. Jarren Duran, okay, but not living up to the lofty standards he set for himself last year. But, they are a good offense. The rotation, though, aside from Crochet, who the hell do you have, man? I love Walker Buehler. I really do. But, man, he's not been great this year. Tanner Houck has not been great this year. They need someone to step up in a big, big way here. This Red Sox team is good. They just need a little bit more starting pitching, as is the theme today, apparently, to get over the top here. But a fun series overall. And last but not least, we have last week's Series of the Week, and that was Cubs and Phillies. And it kind of lived up to the billing a little bit here. In Game 1, Cubs won it 4-0. They rode a Colin Ray, I don't want to say gem, but for Colin Ray, it's a gem. He went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, no earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. He's really filled in for Justin Steele in a big way here. He's not going to give you a ton of innings. That's why I'm not going to call it a Colin Ray gem. If he goes 5 innings, that's a gem for his standards here. But he really did it. A big, big help to this Cubs team overall. He outdueled Taijuan Walker, who he just didn't have it. He went 3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Had the worst command of any start of his this season. He threw, 88 pitches through 3 innings. Just rough to see. The Cubs took advantage immediately as John Brody had an RBI double in the second, followed by a Nico Horner RBI single in the third. Ian Happ would then double in Brody in the fourth to make it 3-0, and Pete Crow Armstrong would add the last run in the game with a sac fly in the seventh. The Phillies took out their frustration on the Cubs here. They won this 10-4 behind a Jesus Luzardo masterpiece. He went 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, none of them earned though. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. I don't know how many times I can say this. I am sorry, Phillies fans, for doubting Jesus Luzardo. I thought he and his fly ball style of pitching would not fare well at Citizens Bank Park. I apologize. He's actually quite good. Ben Brown, however, was not quite good. In fact, he was quite bad. He went 3 2/3, gave up 9 hits, 6 earned, a walk, 5 strikeouts. Yeah, he just didn't have it in this one. Not much to say on this one. The 4th inning from hell is really where all this started for Philadelphia. It was a Max Kepler RBI single. It was an Alec Boehm RBI single. Yes, Alec Boehm did it to Chicago. Oh, yikes. Followed by a Rojas sac fly. Bryson Stott added an RBI single. And then Bryce Harper would cap this absolutely disastrous inning with a 2-run double. Seiya Suzuki, no, he managed to claw 2 back with an RBI double in the 5th. Trey Turner added an RBI single. He'd come around to score on a 2-run double from Schwarber. Max Kepler would then cap the scoring for the Phillies in the 7th with a solo shot. And then Suzuki and Justin Turner did what they could, but this game was far too out of reach here. Ultimately, dominant win for Philadelphia. But Game 3 on Sunday Night Baseball, this is why I said it was the series to watch here, because this one was a fantastic one. Aaron Nola figured things out here. He went 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. He really had struggled to start the year, but if he keeps this up, this may be the turning point where Aaron Nola goes around and saves his season. Best start by far for Nola this year. But Jameson Taillon matched him blow for blow. He went 7 innings, only gave up a single hit, only gave up a single run, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Just beautiful pitching from Taillon. Love to see it. Now the scoring summary begins with Pete Crow-Armstrong. He's led it off with an RBI double in the second to make it 1-0. Trey Turner adds an RBI single almost immediately after. And then after that, we got jack shit for the rest of regulation. We had to go to extras in this one. And Bohm and Turner made sure it would be a quick extras as they each had RBI singles in the attempt to make it 3-1 Phillies. And that score would hold as they won this one 3-1. What do we learn overall from this one? Well, we learned both teams have really good offenses, but this was known for a long time. What we're seeing, though, is that if there was an Achilles heel to this Cubs team, because offensively, yeah, they kick major ass. Pete Crow-Armstrong is starting to hit his ceiling here, which is even more terrifying given how, Tucker, Happ, Suzuki, Bush have started the year. If Pete Crow-Armstrong's amongst that group, my God, is the NL in trouble. But their weakness is the pitching. You kind of saw that with Ben Brown and Colin Ray having to, really eat innings for this team. Really be difficult for them to kind of win a postseason series like that. But it's fun while it lasts. Meanwhile, for the Phillies, arms they have not expected to be good this year have been good. Mike Walker, like Luzardo. Again, I'm so sorry, Philadelphia. They've been really good to start the year. And offensively, they're starting to get a lot of production from guys not named Harper and Schwarber. It's looking like it might be another special year in Philadelphia. We have to wait and see, though. They're not fully there yet, but they're getting closer bit by bit by bit. Now, like the hitters, I'm going to talk about on the first team all first month. I got to bring the boom. Fantasy, that is, as we hear a word from our sponsor.
Man, okay, LeBron hit my parlay. Let's get it.
Oh shit, he hit it?
Yeah, bro. Look at this.
I won $200. I tailed your parlay.
How the heck did you win $200?
I used Boom Fantasy. I used their pick and spin, spun the wheel, got 10 times my money.
Bro, you gotta hook me up.
If you use code RTP, you could get a risk-free bet up to $100. Let's get back to the video.
Now, we're a month into the season. It's time to see, who would make first team All-MLB if the season ended today? Well, I'll tell you who I would vote for. And starts with catcher, of course. And that's the man, the myth, the legend, Big Dumper himself, Cal Raleigh. He's hitting .229 on the year with an MLB best 10 home runs, 17 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, which is a little shocking for me. A .333 on base, .560 slugging, good for a 158 WRC+. I'm looking at Cal Raleigh, and I'm sorry I didn't put him in my top 50. He was a little 3 true outcomes heavy for me. I kind of underrated his defense. It's still been there this year. But yeah, he's just had a fantastic start for him overall. Love what I'm seeing out of Cal Raleigh. He's really carrying this Mariners offense on his back. At first base, there are so many names I wanted to go with. I love what Tyler Soderstrom's doing to start the year. But it's very clearly Pete Alonso. He wants that big contract, and he's playing like it this year. He's hitting .333 with 6 home runs, 26 RBIs, a .451 on base, 646 slugging, good for a 203 WRC+. Yeah, first half numbers tend to be a little inflated, and that's because he's carried by his BABIP. It's a 355 BABIP, nowhere near his career norms. So expect him to settle in about a 150 WRC+ this year. But what's really encouraging for me is the walk rate is up. It's at 14%. Strikeout rate is way down. Is it sustainable? Who knows? It's a month in this season. He could be, your main Mercedes to start the year. Or it could be like Ronald Acuna in his MVP season. We just don't know. But it's very encouraging that this is there. And I like that from him. Second base, oh man, this was actually a really tough one for me. I want to highlight the fact that Bryce Terang has been a really good hitter to start the year while playing fantastic defense at second. I love me some Tommy Tanks, man. But it's Brendan Donovan. I'm shocked. I really am, but he's been fantastic. He's hitting .359, 3 home runs, 16 RBIs, 396 on base, 534 slugging, good for a 161 WRC+, with fantastic defense. Yeah, Edman and Terang, they're great defenders, but if you're looking at outs above average, Brendan Donovan actually leads them all. So that's what kind of broke that little tie for me, is the fact that he is the hitter with the highest OPS and best defense at the position. There really isn't an argument to make against Donovan, but I'm going to try because, say it with me, BABIP people. He's got a 391 BABIP. The numbers are going to crash hard because when that number comes down to the career norm of about 300 for him, now that's not going to be a 359 average. He's going to settle down to like a 110 WRC plus. But again, enjoy the fun start. He's playing great defense. He gets to be first team. Third base similarly was very crowded, but I went with Bregman. He's having a great start to his year. 319 average, 5 home runs, 22 RBIs, 394 on base, 543 slugging, good for a 165 WRC plus. Again, I hate to be a killjoy here, and I kind of sound like a broken record, but BABIP people. If it's really high, it's not sustainable. It's a 364 for him. It's not going to be sustainable to hit 319 for him for the rest of the year. But the big thing with Bregman is he was walking less, and I said it when I was going over the top 50 players in the offseason, is he really was just getting more pitches in the zone, so he was attacking more. They weren't throwing him as many balls. And you're kind of seeing that. He's not at that 10% walk rate where he usually sat, especially in those big years he had with Houston. But he's at 9%. He's starting to get that walk rate up there a little more. We're going to see a lot more Alex Bregman-ish play from him this year. It's great overall. Shortstop. Lindor has been fantastic to start the year. But come on. It's Bobby Witt Jr., man. He's so damn good. He's hitting 315. Power has not been there, though. He's only got 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. Still a lot of great speed there with 8 stolen bases. 381 on base, 477 slug, good for a 138 WRC plus. And really, that WRC plus is deflated by the fact that he just has not hit for power to start this season. And it's going to be fine for the most part if you're looking at it that way. But he's out hitting Lindor while playing similar defense to Lindor. He's obviously the choice here. Outfield, man. The outfield's fucking stacked. It was really hard to narrow it down. But it's got to be Aaron Judge, man. We say this every time when we talk about Aaron Judge. Surely there's not another level to his game. Surely it can't get any better than this. Well, guess what? He's hitting like fucking Barry Bonds without the steroids. Alleged steroids. Because this year, he's hitting 406 with 8 home runs, 27 RBIs, a fucking 500 on-base percentage. He's slugging 717, good for a 247 WRC plus. And again, I hate to be a killjoy. This is the last time I'm going to say this word here. But the BABIP. You want to talk about 396 is unsustainable. Oh, this is unsustainable. Aaron Judge's BABIP is 486. That is the definition of unsustainable. But it does not mean I'm not having fun here. Let's all have fun with this. He is just on another solar system and another orbit. He's in another fucking universe, let's be honest here, because he is that damn good. Aaron Judge, appreciate him while you can, man. He's that special. Now, in second place, it's the lack of Aura King himself. It's Kyle Tucker, man. 289 average, 7 home runs, 25 RBIs, 8 stolen bases, 397 on base, 579 slugging, good for a 167 WRC plus. Under the hood, everything looks super sustainable. Again, he really was underrated last year because he didn't play that many games, but all the WAR stats, everything suggested he really was going to be in contention for that AL MVP alongside Judge and Witt. And you're kind of seeing it here in Chicago. He really is the reason this team went from good to great. He's getting a bag in the offseason. Kyle Tucker, man, so good. Oh, these last two hurt so much. I don't want to talk about them. But this is how you know I'm unbiased, okay? Because the last outfielder I put is fucking Fernando Tatis Jr. I don't like the dude, okay? This is very clear by the fact that, Dodger hat. But he's really good. I hate to say it, but he's been really good this year. He's hitting 346, 8 home runs, 18 RBIs, 7 stolen bases, 415 on base, 625 slugging, good for 189 WRC plus. And yeah, he's back to being his platinum glove self in the outfield too. God, I hate it here so much, but yeah, Tatis is really just that good. is there's not much you can say about him that hasn't already been said. Is it all looks sustainable. He's playing with so much flair and so much swagger. I don't want to talk about him anymore. I don't want to talk about this next guy either, but I have to. An unofficial policy here on the show is we don't talk about Marcell Ozuna. He's a piece of shit, allegedly. Because, yes, he has all this stuff. You can look it up yourself. I'm not going to talk about it here. But far and away, he's been the best DH in baseball this year. He's hitting .316 with 5 home runs, 11 RBIs, 486 on base, 544 slugging, good for a 190 WRC plus. He and Austin Riley, man, they are the only reason this Braves team is even somewhat watchable offensively. They are both really damn good hitters. And that's all I'm going to say about Ozuna. I don't like talking about the guy. He's an alleged piece of shit. But he's a really damn good hitter, best DH in the league. Now, starting pitchers, I'm going to go over 5 of them. And yes, I'm a homer, but that's not why I put Yoshinobu Yamamoto number 1. He's just been that damn good this year. He's thrown 34 innings on the season with a 1.06 ERA, good for a perfectly circular 3.60 ERA plus. A whip of 1 flat, 43 strikeouts, good for 11.4 strikeouts per 9, 2.9 walks per 9, 0.5 home runs per 9. Man, Yoshi's been dominant. Even in his worst start against the Pirates, where his command was just off, he still managed to make his way through. Granted, a very weak lineup, but he still managed to pitch his way out of jams. He looked very good overall. He's been the best pitcher in baseball to start the year. I'm not apologizing for that. After him, though, it's Logan Gilbert, who really is making an argument behind Yoshi. He's thrown 30 and a third innings, good for a 2.37 ERA, 1.49 ERA plus, 0.79 whip, 44 strikeouts, good for 10.7 strikeouts per 9, 3.6 walks per 9, wrong numbers. 44 strikeouts, good for 13.1 strikeouts per 9, 1.8 walks per 9, 0.9 home runs per 9. Yeah, Gilbert has been so damn good. Let's hope the arm is okay because he did have to leave his last start and we're just waiting on the medicals to come back here. But if he comes back, man, he has been absolutely dominant to start the year. Really love what I'm seeing out of Logan Gilbert. He's been fantastic. Starting pitcher number 3 is Garrett Crochet, who, yeah. I talked about his 2 bad starts. Aside from that, though, he's been phenomenal. He's thrown 37 innings on the year. He has a 1.95 ERA, good for a 2.12 ERA plus, 1.04 whip, 44 strikeouts, good for 10.7 strikeouts per 9, 3.6 walks per 9, 0.2 home runs per 9. Crochet, man, he really has developed that off-speed pitch that we were really looking for in the offseason. He really, and I will stand by this, I do think he has the best fastball of any pitcher or any starting pitcher in the game. Really complimented with an off-speed. Crochet, dominant to start the year. Next starting pitcher is Hunter Green, who has the best off-speed pitch. Because I don't know if it's still true, but as of like a week and a half ago, no one has gotten a hit off his slider. Best pitch with at least 100 pitches thrown. Yeah, it's that damn good. And because of that slider, he's managed to throw 36 and 2/3 innings of 2.70 ERA, good for a 1.59 ERA plus. Should be higher because, he plays in Great American Small Park. 0.85 whip, 43 strikeouts, good for 10.6 strikeouts per 9, 1.5 walks per 9. The home run still is a problem, though, because that fastball. It's hard, but it's straight. That leads to a 1.5 home runs per 9. But really, man, Hunter Green, so damn good. I sold low on my Hunter Green stocks. I really wanted to put him in my Cy Young thing. I know it sounds ridiculous in hindsight, but I've always been a fan of his. I'm glad to see he's living up to his potential. Hunter Green, man, so damn good. Now, that last spot, it could be, Zach Wheeler. It could be Paul Skeens. I decided to go in a different direction on this one. I actually went with Logan Webb. And again, it pains me to go with Logan Webb. I don't like Logan Webb. He's a San Francisco Giants. I've been trained my whole life to hate anything from the Bay Area, especially the Giants. But I cannot deny that Logan Webb has been fantastic to start the year. He's thrown 36 and a third innings of 1.98 ERA, good for a 1.43 ERA plus. That is what we call playing at Oracle, my friends. He has a 1.10 whip, 44 strikeouts, good for 10.9 strikeouts per 9. Yeah, Logan Webb is striking out over 10 batters per 9. Dear Lord, help us all. 2.5 walks per 9, 0.2 home runs per 9. And really, I said it in the offseason on the top 50 player series, but it really is the fact that I'm like the changeup, it lost some of its movement. He just needs to find the grip on it. He needs to just do something different with how he's throwing that changeup. Yeah, it turns out I was right, and he's fine. God, I hate it here. But I cannot deny that Logan Webb has been fantastic to start the year. Now, our two relievers on the list, it's Miller time. We're not sponsored. We're willing to be by Miller Lite. But I'm talking about Mason Miller here, as he has been otherworldly to start the year. He's got a 1.80 ERA, good for a 2.28 ERA plus. But I attribute it to the fact that he plays at what I like to call Coors Field, but at sea level. Because that ballpark is so damn small, man. But don't let that fool you. He's got a whip of .70, 21 strikeouts, good for 18.9 strikeouts per nine. Yeah, that's right. He's striking out 2 batters an inning. 0.9 walks per nine. 0.9 home runs per nine. An absolutely microscopic 0.45 FIP. My God, Mason Miller is so damn good. He's clearly reliever number 1 in baseball right now. After him, I'm going with Andres Munoz. He's got no earned runs allowed in 14 innings. 0.79 strikeouts per nine. He's got 18 strikeouts, good for 11.6 strikeouts per nine, 3.9 walks per nine. No home runs per nine, obviously, and a 1.77 FIP. Munoz, a little bit lucky, but, no runs over 14 appearances. Still dominant. It's going to be a new spot on the list. He's just not Mason Miller, but he's still damn good. I hate to be a team in the AL West because, you're not finishing anything with, Hader, Miller, and Munoz. Yeah, those bullpens are shut down. And for this series to watch, I'm giving you a quick one, but it's going to be a very important one because I'm now coining a term I'm calling the post-election year NL West. Because for whatever reason, the NL West after a presidential election is the wildest division in baseball. Because 2017, you had a very good and fun, for at least half a season, 3-horse race between the Dodgers, Rockies, and Diamondbacks. Dodgers pulled away at the end. 2013, you had the famous pool party Dodgers and that heated race with Arizona. 2021 was a 3-horse race for half a year. Padres ended up falling off. Ended up being the greatest rivalry year in the history of baseball as the Dodgers and Giants each won 106 plus games, but the Giants, unfortunately, I said plus because they won 107 in the division. And of course, this NL West has 3 of the 5 best teams in baseball in it, and we have a series between 2 of them here to start this historic year for the NL West. It's a quick 2-game set between the Giants and the Padres. The aforementioned Logan Webb goes in Game 1. Yuri already knows stat lines, but he's going to be facing Nick Pivetta, who's 4-1 with a 1.2 ERA and 30 strikeouts. Yeah, he was very close to making the list as well, but just didn't have the numbers of some of the other guys, but he's been a revelation in San Diego. And in the other game, it's going to be Landon Rope with his 2-1 record, 4.56 ERA. Ouch. And 31 strikeouts will face Michael King, who's 3-1 with a 2.18 ERA and 50 strikeouts. Overall, these 2 games, they may not seem important, but, it's very hard that all 3 teams are going to stay in this race. If it does, my God, it's going to take years off my life. But even 2 games really important in signing. Who is the best of the best? As they say in wrestling, we're going to find out if the cream rises to the top. And 2 games we're going to start figuring out here. But let me know in the comments down below. Should I have picked a different series for the series to watch? Who were the snubs of my All-MLB first team? And should I stop talking about Garrett Crochet and just let him cook, man? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, if you enjoyed the content, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the Run the Play Network, and don't forget on the way out, play ball.